you guys just recently wrapped up fall practices. Just kind of talk about how the whole fall went with the 2023 squad.
The fall went well. Obviously, bringing in quite a few new guys this year between transfers and 6 freshmen, but a lot of quality returners as well. I think the biggest thing for us was making sure we stayed healthy to start with, and then really establishing kind of what the focus was going to be on the pitching end of it. Coach Hunt and Coach Reade did a great job with our offense and really kind of implementing what that offense is going to look like and getting the guys to buy into it from the get-go. But overall, we felt like the fall went really well. We really saw some growth as a whole and individually, and excited to see kind of what it looks like when the guys come back. We know we got a group that's going to go home. They're going to work and take care of business. So getting ready to, excited to get them back here, even though they just left.
And kind of hit on the exhibition games. I know you guys played Texas State, and you had a couple others. How did you think those went?
They went well. We played the international game against Mississauga, a team out of Canada, high school group, talented high school group, and I felt like we played well. Really limited to 3 passes, and offensively it was pretty impressive. So we played well there. I think that carried over outside of about 4 innings against Texas State. It was probably as competitive baseball as I've seen our group play overall. It was just every inning being plugged in, engaged, competitive ABs, attacking on the mound, never backing down. It was fun to watch. Weatherford, I felt like it was, not as good as the first couple, but I think when we flipped the lineups going into that second 7 innings against them, there was a little different spark there, and was impressed with the way we finished that game out.
And then, so the purple and white Fall World Series, you just kind of concluded that. Had some great games, some good competition. What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was awesome. It's one, as a head coach, usually during the Fall World Series, you kind of take a step back and just get a chance to kind of watch, evaluate, and really not as much coaching at that point. But it was as competitive as a Fall World Series as I've ever been a part of. It got a little chirpy. At times had to kind of pull the reins back in a little, but that's the one neat thing about this group is they're competitive. There's a fire there, there's an edge there. They want to win, and you'd much rather have to kind of rein that stuff in than try to pull it out of guys. That's tough to do. So it was really good. Obviously the white team ended up prevailing there, but every game was competitive.
And coming into the fall, were there certain goals that you had, or maybe you kind of expressed to the team, like you guys wanted to hit on this, or was it just kind of open and see what you guys had?
Obviously, we really wanted to implement, Coach Hunt and Coach Reade really wanted to kind of implement their offensive approach and that side of it, kind of what we're looking to do and stuff, just individually and as a whole. And then on the mound, we just had a lot of new guys, so really trying to get to know those guys and kind of putting guys in different situations, seeing how they handle different things. I think a big part of it is trying to put as much pressure on guys as you can in the fall, and that's the whole group, guys individually, to see kind of how they handle it. What's that body language look like? What's the, how's that poise on the mound, their demeanor and stuff when things do get tough. And I thought we did a good job of that.
And speaking about Coach Hunt, so you made a change on your staff, and Coach Hunt's now assistant coach. So just kind of talk about his impact and your thoughts on hiring him.
Oh, he's been great. He's been great for our staff. He's been great for our players. I think it's just a preparation thing, and very, very passionate about what he does. Our players see that. They feed off that. He's prepared for it, and he holds them accountable. I think that's a big thing, and it's nice as a head coach knowing that your assistants are expecting the same things, and they're holding our guys accountable, and we're holding each other accountable. But no, it's been a great thing. It's been a big impact in our program, and I think he's going to help us a lot, not just now, but going forward.
And so to the roster, there's a lot of newcomers. So how have they kind of assimilated onto the team? Have they fit well, kind of mesh with everything that you guys do?
Well, I think they definitely have fit well and meshed with what we're looking to do, and that's on the field and in the locker room. Big thing we tried to focus on was bringing in the right guys. Obviously, you want talent, but you want the right people. Guys that were going to fit into the culture that we wanted to create and stuff, and that part has really, I've been really impressed with that. I think we got a group that really cares about each other, but they're willing to hold each other accountable at the same time, and they want to win. At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. They're competitive and they want to win, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to do that. The freshmen really, I think, matured a lot. I think having them in the summer and stuff helped from that side of it, but the freshmen have done a great job. And then our transfers have really impressed me. Just first the buy-in from the get-go, coming from a different program, whether it be a 4-year or 2-year program. And then just being able to kind of go out and do their thing and not trying to be somebody they're not. Between some of our pitching staff, Pearson McElroy and Will Stevens, Hunter Day, have all done a really good job. Grant Garza is another one that's done a really good job for us. And then offensively, some older guys that know what it takes to win and be successful, including Brandon Howell and Jack Wagner's done a really good job for us. Obviously having Escalon and Dobrinsky back healthy this year should be a big help to our lineup. We missed those guys being kind of in and out last year quite a bit. But there's a good group of newcomers here that, whether it's a freshman or a transfer, that I really think are going to have a chance to impact our program sooner rather than later.
And I know we just wrapped up the fall, the season's coming up, but we're not there yet. But are there any leaders that are kind of starting to stand out to you, guys that are taking on that role?
Yeah, I think you do different things throughout the fall, to try to force guys into leadership roles or try to see who's going to really kind of step up in some of those situations. One for me that really since kind of the middle of last year I really kind of started to see it was Jake Escalon. He's done a great job of that, and he's a guy that cares about this place a lot, cares about our program, and he wants to win. And he cares about his teammates too, and that's why he's not afraid to hold them accountable, because he knows what's in their best interest. So I think Jake's done a great job with that. Mito Perez and Mason Cruz are both guys behind the plate for us, have done a really good job of it, which you got to have leaders behind the plate if you want to be successful. And then I'd say Alec Williams is another one that's really kind of grown into that role.
And so can you give me a couple guys that, newcomers and returners maybe that impressed you, that stood out and performed really well this fall?
Yeah, I think returners for me would be, I think Mito Perez, kind of building off the year opportunities he got last year as a freshman. Him and Mason Cruz both pushed each other, along with Peyton Messenger, transfer from Fort Scott Community College that we have. They all did a really good job. The middle infield's really been impressive. A bunch of new guys there between Peyton Pennington, Jake Pennington's little brother, Jordan Andrade, Mason Hammonds. Those three have probably as athletic of a middle infield as we've had since I've been here. And then I think Troy Food has really kind of, he's taken his game to a whole nother level. He's taken his work ethic to another level. His focus has been different. Dylan always worked, but I think just the focus and the deliberateness and the discipline has changed quite a bit from when he first got here, and been really impressed with it. He's another one. We talk about leaders. He's really kind of stepped up into a leadership role. And it's not forced. It's just him going out and leading by example, I think, is really what's impressed me so far about Dylan.
What kind of motivation does being eligible for the WAC tournament this season provide for you guys?
I think anytime you get a chance to compete in the postseason, that's when you recruit guys, you want guys that want to compete for championships. You want guys that want to compete in the postseason, and make a run deep in the postseason and be able to, at the end of the day, eventually get to Omaha. So I think when they know from the start that they can't do that, it does make things a little challenging, whether you like it or not, or you tried to, whether you believe it or not, but it does. There's a little different motivation when they know they get a chance to go compete for something at the end of the day. And you just hear them talking about it. I even with our coaching staff, it's a different feeling for us. It's exciting. And we're very grateful and thankful for the opportunity that we get to go out and put ourselves in a position and be able to hopefully go compete for a championship at the end of the day.
And last thing, the stadium, currently getting worked on as we speak. How exciting is that to see this facility grow from what it was?
Oh, it's been awesome. Not just for me, but I know a lot of our alumni and former players. They're so excited to see the change that's really happened here over the last couple of years, and then it's going to continue happening going forward. It's right behind you right now. We got about 50 guys out here working. Steel's supposed to come in here this week. They got all support pillars and stuff put in, and hopefully come February 24th when we get that first home game here in the new stadium, this place is packed and rocking. We're excited for it.